than a buy one, get one free, because my girl, Rebecca, she said, you know, in her research and in our homework, we were saying that one conservatively is $35, but you know, even our team said, well, that's the lowest common denominator, and then you can go up from there. Well, you are getting the set of two. I have to point out, and I know I've been saying it throughout this show, this is one of our weekend specials, meaning final quantities, final call. When the clock strikes midnight at that witching hour, you are not getting it for the weekend pricing, and then of course the flex pay goes away. Look at, I didn't see you even for a minute.
Simple.
Look at, where'd she go? Where's Waldo? Where's Rebecca Wood?
Oh, I just love this because whether it's an ugly AC unit or pool equipment you want to hide, cracked stucco you want to conceal, or you just want this beautiful greenery with absolutely no maintenance, this is your answer. So you can see that it's easy to stretch, kind of
just expand it back and forth.
So it's going to come just like this. It comes in about 18 inches. When you open it up, you just decide what you want to where you want to use it. You can see here, you know those deck areas that are never, all that is dirt. You've got a beautiful deck and there's just dirt underneath.
You know, it's so funny because I live in a townhome and my neighbor, I actually had them plant shrubbery and it never grew to the height that I needed. So
then you had to watch it.
Yes, so it's not serving its purpose.
Right.
And the whole idea is, and you know, no disrespect to my neighbors, I don't want to see them when they're out in their pool, and you know, I kind of want that to be my sanctuary.
Yes.
So whether you live in a community where there's not a lot of privacy, I'm even thinking for apartment dwellers, you know how the balconies are like adjacent to each other?
I had it right overlooking like a parking lot. And people stare at you as they're going in, and I had no privacy. It would have been perfect for that.
Exactly. And when I'm, you know, had different apartments even here in Florida, not just Minnesota, especially in Minnesota, you've got the grills out and you don't want everybody to see the grill. Or sometimes you even keep exercise equipment out there and you don't want to see somebody, you know, when you're, working out. Now, how do you adhere, or how do you make it stay where you want it to stay?
So you get everything you need, and it couldn't be simpler.
Wow.
So you get the zip ties. You get zip ties, so if you want to attach it to a already existing fence or lattice work, you get the zip ties.
Oh, nice.
The U-stakes that you get go right over the willow rods, and you can actually make it stand up. So it couldn't be easier. I actually have mine though long because I have stucco that I wanted to hide, that's cracked stucco on a column, and I was able to hide that area just by making it tall. You can see how gorgeous it is though too. No special tools. It's like 3 pounds. And you can put it anywhere. And here's what I want to show you too. So you're seeing each one of these leaves, these ivy leaves, they've been pre-treated. So it means it's going to stay this gorgeous, luscious green color for years and years and years to come. And then you can see they're wrapped around, guess what these are? These are real willow rods.
Do you know what? It's so funny because I was actually going to make a comment. I was going to like, wow, those branches look real.
What? The factory cannot recreate what Mother Nature does. And so even in the back, look how pretty it is. No matter where you're looking at it, these are real willow rods that you're looking at.
Oh, I love that.
I know. I love the details.
Oh, how fun. But honestly, it's so interesting that, you know, so many people on my crew are getting this. And this is Rebecca's last airing. And I reference that only in as much as, even if we did have one of these left, the price does expire after this show. So the price expires after this show. The flex pay expires after this show. It is a genius idea. Even in the most economical sense, when we did our comparison research, we were finding the lowest common denominator for one at being $35. And then you can go from there. So it's better than a buy one, get one free. Hide that trash can.
This is where it's really going to come in handy. I have my trash cans outside because I don't want them in my garage. They're smelly. But I also don't want those mean HOA letters that you get.
Yes, I've had those.
I've got that.
Yes, I have.
Too. So guess what? I can just simply put this on the side of it using the U-stake stakes that you get. This is what they look like.
No one's the wiser.
No one's the wiser. Or if you have something to tie it to, you can use the zip ties. And then it's that simple. And even if you just have this fence, this is the most economical fence you can get. So a lot of people go and get it. It's not the prettiest. What would you rather look at, a chain link fence or this beautiful greenery?
I'm telling you.
That you never have to water, you never have to trim. It's going to be this beautiful for years to come.
Isn't that great? And see, the thing is, the alternative is landscaping. And no kidding, the shrubs that I had them, you know, I had to make, you know, a special dispensation in my townhome to make sure, you know, to make sure it was copacetic. I spent a lot more than $39.95 for a shrub, and it never accommodated or got to the height that I wanted. And frankly, I have a puce thumb. I'm trying my dog. I really do. I'm just, you know, which is funny because I'm from a farm family. I'm trying my darndest, you know, to grow tomatoes this year.
You did not get it.
I know.
So you can decide. It goes from, well, we say, and I just like to say, it goes from 18 inches, truthfully, up to 8 feet.
Up to 8 feet.
So you can decide, so here's 8 feet, and you can decide if you want that lengthways or height. And this is my favorite way, because vertical gardens are the biggest thing.
They are.
So you can even have a gorgeous vertical garden on an outside patio wall. Put some full flowers in here, or twinkling lights.
I was just going to say the twinkling lights. I love those twinkling lights.
And look how simple it is to put it to whatever size you want.
Oh, I'm just, you know, chances are you're like all of us, and you're oohing and eyeing, and you're thinking of all the possibilities. Best part is you don't have to have the green thumb. You don't have any maintenance. You can move it as needed if there's a problem area, you know, be it stucco or, you know, paint or plaster or something that doesn't look quite right, to the practicalities of hiding the air conditioning unit or, you know, the waste receptacle, whatever it might be. I have to say, because this was my concern, because I told Rebecca, I saw her on the air with this the other day, I was a little concerned about how real it would look. And then when I see this in person, I'm so glad you told me those are real branches, because I'm like, gosh, if I didn't know better, I would say those are real branches.
Everybody who comes up to it says they really don't know until you touch them.
Yes.
That's the first time, and you really, because it is so beautiful.
You can tell, you can't really replicate nature unless it's nature.
And you can see however thick you want it too. If you wanted a little bit more thick, you just would have them a little closer together. I love it because this looks very realistic, so I think this is pretty.
Yeah,
have you? So I actually have, with certain plants, I actually have a very good green thumb.
Oh, do you?
And
really?
I planted an ivy bush. I had to go out. I had to cut the lattice work to exactly what I wanted.
Oh, you're right.
But then it overran my porch. It started ruining my swing that I had outside, because it got into the chains and it wouldn't swing anymore. It can get into your windows and the cracks. It can actually ruin the surface of your house. And then you have to trim it, and you have to water it, and then what happens in the winter, it dies. This can stay out winter, spring, summer, fall, all year long.
I'll tell you what, and that's saying something, because we both know from Minnesota winters, if you don't have to worry about this or baby it. And I love the fact that you can customize it really without any green thumb or any, you know, DIY skills whatsoever. And Rebecca, you said again, I just want to make clear, you do get the stakes. You also
get the stakes and the zip ties.
And the zip ties.
So the zip ties are what you're going to use if you have an existing fence. Or any kind of an area that you want to attach it to. The stakes are what you're going to use if you want to make them stand on their own. And you just put them right through the willow rods on the bottom and just stick them into the ground. Now, we were talking, if you live in a condo or an apartment and you have a balcony, you want to sit out there and you still want to enjoy the outdoors, and you want some privacy.
You do.
And so this is what we usually have. When you have like some
absolutely.
I just zip tied it right to one of the posts here. And now when you put it like that, this is what everybody else is seeing. This is what you can see.
So it's still pretty.
And it's just as pretty on the back.
Still pretty.
And you're getting privacy and still being surrounded by Mother Nature.
And you know what, and again, it's not a permanent solution, which it is a permanent solution if you decide not to move it. But I guess what I am saying is if you decide you do want to use it in another area of your home or backyard, patio, porch, whatever it might be, you can do that easily. You're going to laugh because I know you know what I'm talking about. In fact, like in Barrett, Minnesota, my brother's mother and father-in-law have like a little lot, you know, where they've got like the little Winnebago that you pull up the camper, and then there are a bunch of other campers. But they can actually use this to create their own little yard.
That would be a little fence with the U-stakes. You're right.
I mean, because I'm from a small town, we all know each other, but sometimes it's just like, well, you know, I just
Well, that means everyone's going to talk to. And sometimes you just don't want to talk.
It's true.
You just want some privacy.
I love that whether it's glamping or not, or lakefront property, and you just want to create that little privacy expanse, you can move this, you can leave it there permanently. The price is no longer valid at midnight. Remember, this is the end of the weekend, so Rebecca was kind enough to stay. They added this to my show, and don't you love that?
Did you see it? So that was, you don't even have to have lattice work, but a lot of people have lattice work along the bottoms of maybe their decks or underneath their house where you're just seeing grass. Now you can see this